Welcome to my June 5th video update. I forgot to mention that in the last update, 2 weeks ago, I used the rear-facing camera on my iPhone 7 Plus, as I'm doing now. And you'll remember that the rear-facing camera is a 12 megapixel camera compared to the 7 megapixel camera that is in the FaceTime camera, the front-facing camera, which I typically will use because I can see where I am in the frame. So at that time I was using my iPad Pro to control the iPhone 7 Plus. You'll notice also that I'm out here in the yard, and I'm actually in a very shaded area, but with just letting the camera run on the FilmicPro app, it was overexposed. I was quite overexposed. You can't see these Leland cypress very well behind me because they're kind of dark in shadow, because I'm also using the Neewer fader, the ND filter that I mentioned that I'd gotten on the camera, as you can see in the little video I'm running right now. And that allows me to set the shutter speed to 1/48 of a second, which is appropriate for 24 frames per second recording. And so hopefully then you get a little bit better quality video and no stuttering. It seems to be working fine because it really lets me dial down the exposure so that what would have been a very overexposed image of me and you would have been able to see the trees very nicely, I'm able to change so that hopefully I'm exposed more properly. Now, one of the things I noticed after I looked at the video I recorded last time using the rear-facing camera is I still wasn't looking in the lens. And I notice that now. I'm looking in the middle of the tripod, which is not where I should look. I should look right there where the lens is, and then I'm really looking out at you, the viewers. So it's always something to get used to. I think maybe I'll put a little big arrow on the back of my phone to tell me to always look up here and not over there. So it's an oddity, if you will, in that was something I wasn't expecting. I also, in that last update, alluded to my topic for today, and that is a way to stabilize my monopod-tripod. This is this monopod, or selfie stick really, that it can be a monopod that extends, and this is typically what I use to record myself. I'm now using one of my MePhoto tripods to hold the iPhone, and to this I attach these legs that came with this Yuntang monopod. So these legs are a little tripod that I can use independently, or I can use on this monopod to turn it into a tripod. And that's typically what I do. The problem is that these legs just don't spread out wide enough to really give good support if I'm on grass. And that's one of the reasons I'm recording out here in the grass, because I want to demonstrate how this is going to work. So you'll remember last time I mentioned that I was using my MePhoto Day Trip tripod, which is a small tripod, and the video I showed you had, let's see if I can get this to come up now, had it up like this, which is, you know, one step, but you can also push the center pole down so it would be closer to the ground. But the nice thing with this tripod is it has 3 different levels, so I can actually put the legs way out like so, which will give great stability in, you know, on a surface like grass. Even in the second notch is a good position. Let me put this back down, go to the second position. So there's little catches here that allow you to put it in different configurations. So this still clears the ground, and this gives me a lot broader base so the monopod's not likely to fall over. One problem I found in using this was I'm so used to picking up that monopod and moving it in different places with the tripod legs attached, and I did it with this, but this is much heavier than those legs, and it came right out of its casing. It didn't break it, apparently, but it did come out of the casing. So something to be cautious of. So this is still a handy little tripod. As I said, the full extent is only 2 feet high. So it's really meant to go in a backpack or a day pack. So to today's topic, sandbags. Sandbags for tripods. Now, you can buy sandbags for tripods, but you can also make sandbags for tripods. So do a search for DIY sandbags and you'll see all kinds. The one I was going to go with was a 2 pencil holders that have a zipper on them. And so they have holes to go to a notebook. And that meant that I could connect the two together and put the pole in between them, and that would provide me with the sandbags. So I came up with my own sandbags. An old pair of jeans, the bottom legs of an old pair of jeans that I sewed up on one end. Yes, I can sew a little bit, and left open on the other end. This one, unfortunately, is kind of ragged looking and will over time, you know, get messed up. I remember that I had a grommet kit, and so I was able to put 2 grommets in each of these sandbags, these old legs, or pant legs, and was able to attach them with these clips, like key clips. So, and this is what I would have done with a pencil holder as well. But this seems to work fine. And then inside each leg, I have a Ziploc bag. So I'm not going to put sand in here. We get dirty over time. Sand or paper. And really the deal is, this is so light to carry, I can just throw this in the bag and it's really light compared to carrying that little tripod. But it is only useful if I can find sand or dirt or stones at the other end of the trip, so I can fill them up and use them as sandbag to steady my tripod monopod, or monopod-tripod. So we'll see how this works. Okay, so I have put the stones, as you saw, in the plastic bags, and I have put the plastic bags inside the pant leg sandbags, and I've put it over the tripod legs. The leg, you know, it's standing right here, and if I put the camera on top of it, it's still, the wobbliness here is more because of the attachment to the tripod. And I think I've got it as tight as I can get it, but I think with, you know, certainly with a cell phone, it's going to be fine. And as you can see on the ground, it's not going to fall over, and that's what it's all about. So, a DIY sandbag project for you to try out if you have a similar kind of monopod-tripod setup. So, thank you very much for checking in on this video update, and I'll see you next week.